Hi fellow reefers, this is Eddie of Eddie's Reef Aquaria. Today's video is the first update that I'm going to do for this year on this nano cube that I have. I know I've taken quite a while, but I've been busy with the other innovative Marine Nubo 40, setting it up and getting ready to do the setup. But today's video, I'm going to talk about the different changes that have occurred in this nano tank. You'll notice that there's corals that I have had to place, like change where they're at because they've grown, and different configuration, different things that I have had to do on this little tank. And like you must be aware, in any reef aquaria, it doesn't matter what size, but corals grow, corals die, they overpower another coral. And even if you were to go to the actual ocean, to an actual reef, you will notice that the reefs actually change. If you were to go scuba diving or snorkeling and you see an area that you're familiar with, and you'll go back, like let's say in months or a year, you'll notice that the view of it has actually changed. So let me dive into this nano cube and show you the changes. Okay, and here we are at the tank, and this is a full shot of the actual nano cube, how it looks now. But now I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to describe what's been going on. Okay, now here, what happened with the leather coral, I had to raise it twice with some little rubble, little pieces of the volcanic rock, because it kept touching, like let's say the frog span, and because it's growing and growing, as you will see now. So I went ahead and I did that. Now, if you notice next to it, the Duncan coral used to be right behind the leather coral. Well, the Duncan coral started to grow and grow, many heads. So I had to go ahead and the acans were back there. So what I did is I moved the acans forward, and then the Duncan coral, as you notice, I placed it in the middle. And it keeps growing, and there's more heads and more heads. Then here you have the Hollywood Stunner. It keeps growing. Right behind it, there's another frag that I had gotten from Worldwide Coral. And then you have the candy canes right next to it. And of course, my red mushrooms keep growing. Now here's a shot of the frog span. The frog span presently has 4 heads, 2 on each side. And then the clownfish actually has hosted with the frog span. It actually comes out through the center, that little entrance you see in the middle. It actually comes out through there and stays there and protects the frog span. As you notice, it's just around it. Now this is what I meant when you look at the leather coral. It has expanded exponentially to the sides and back and forth. So that's why I had to really raise it. Then here on the right side, the lobophilia, what's on the bottom, on the substrate. But due to the fact, just like I explained briefly, that I had to move the Duncan and the acans, then the only place that I had available to put the lobo was here. Now this has been a challenge. I've had to reposition it more than 2 or 3 times. And that you see on the trunk of the leather coral, this right here, okay, I've had followers say it's rotting. It's not, it's just algae. If I was to get the toothbrush that I have dedicated to the fish tank, it would actually come off. But I really don't want to bother the leather coral. As I mentioned before on my intro on this video, a reef is a reef. There's things that are going to happen, things that are not going to happen, and you just have to let nature take its course. So, you know, this is not going to be a sterile tank. No tank should actually be like that. So just let it take its course naturally. There you have the bird's nest. It keeps growing. Like I've said in previous videos, they actually grow to different shapes, shall I call it, or different directions. But it also has to do with the water flow. The current that it's actually receiving, that's how it actually helps it to take like different routes or shapes, shall we call it. Here's a better view of it. And then, of course, up there you have the trumpets, the candy cane. And right below it, the green SPs, they have been growing. They're growing to the sides. If you notice, they keep going around that area. And there's the actual head of the leather coral that I was talking to you about. And now let's go to the other side. Okay, now this here is the left side of the nano reef. As you notice, the frog span, like I said before, it's got two heads. So what I'm saying is, like, let's say on this trunk that comes out, there's two. And then on that trunk here, there's another two. Then, of course, this leather has grown also quite a bit. See if I can pan into the blue mushrooms. No, it doesn't allow me to do it. But right there, right back here, I have the blue mushrooms. They're all over, like from here, and all the way to the bottom. And this, by the way, is another little frag that I got from Worldwide Coral. Now back there, the red cap, as you notice, it's taken a configuration where it's going up the wall, the back wall of the tank, but if you notice here, it's like cascading out, like looking for more light and coming out like in shelves, shall we call it. Here's a better shot of what I'm talking about, the configuration that the red cap is actually taking. So there it is, the update on my Nano Cube. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it educational. If you did, just hit the like button, the thumbs up. And if so, you're welcome to subscribe to my channel, Eddie's Reef Aquaria. Right next to it, as you all must be aware, next to the subscribe button, there's a little bell. If you click that and you have your notifications on your device, it will automatically notify you when there's a video that I have just gone and uploaded. And like I say at the end of all of my videos, happy reefing. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.